evening, SFBN fans. I'm your host, Nicki Jones, and you are watching In the Paint, a high school basketball talk show dedicated to girls basketball in the state of Pennsylvania. On this week, we will talk about this year's playoffs. We've been talking about this all year, and finally, it's here. Also, we will be hearing from our friend Rosie in District 2, so make sure you stay tuned for more. Welcome back. Once again, I'm your host, Nicki Jones, alongside my friend Joe Fite. Let's get started. A lot of basketball to talk about, a lot of playoffs. Things are coming down to it pretty much. And I know you said you went to a District 12 game yesterday, the public league. How was that?
It was actually a very good game, and it was the number 8 seed against the number 9 seed. And, those are supposed to be close games, and this was. Bodine from down in Center City, they were the 9 seed playing Sankofa Freedom, and they played this at the Simpson Recreation Center in Frankfort yesterday on Wednesday. It was a tie game with a minute 15 left. Nadira Abdullah went in for a layup with 1:15 left and gave Sankofa the 42-40 lead, and that was really all they needed. That gave them the lead for good. Zara Green went in for a layup. After that, she made it 44-40, hit a couple of free throws down the stretch, and they ended up winning 47-40. Green had 15 points. Mariah Rohr had 14 points, and Nadira Abdullah had 13. We're going to be talking about Sankofa in a little bit when we talk about the District 1 playoffs. The District 12 Public League playoffs are going into the semifinals on Friday, and they're going into the quarterfinals on Friday, and we're talking about the semifinals next Wednesday. The finals, the championship will be Sunday, February 25th at the Palestra. It's the first time the Public League, boys or girls, have played in the Palestra in 22 years.
And do you think that's a good idea? Is it I know the Palestra is an amazing place. It's historic and everybody wants to play there, but for high school,
High school teams, even back before my day, which was a long time ago, looked forward to playing in the Palestra because at that time, the Catholic League, the Public League, were not members of PIAA. So to play in a championship game down at the Palestra, that was the end-all and be-all. So the experience for these young folks playing in the Palestra is just going to be extraordinary. One thing that I found over the years, if a team hasn't been used to playing in there, so you have a high school team comes in, it's so wide open that their jump shots, in practice, they generally miss them. They're air balls because the depth perception is way off. They have to get used to that. So
yeah, that makes sense. I know in college our coach that's why you do shoot-arounds at the gym to try to, get your little hour in to get used to the gym and the environment and the whole depth perception thing. So that makes sense. There
have been a lot of great games there over the years, and I don't see anything different between the Public League championship games and the Catholic League championship games, which will be Monday the 26th.
And speaking of the Catholic League, District 12 are also, this whole show is basically going to be about playoffs, but Joe, you have the schedule for them.
Right. Well, let me just go through the schedule for the Public League first. Okay. Friday at Kensington, the one semifinal is going to be Sankofa playing number 1 seed Imhotep. Imhotep's a very, very, very talented team, and Sankofa is going to really have their work cut out for them there. The other semifinal at 4:45 is going to be number 5 seed Olney against number 4 seed Audenried. This should be a really close game. Olney won their playoff game yesterday, 29-28. So this is going to be another tight game. The other semifinal is finals are at School of the Future. And we have number 2 seed Mastery Charter North playing Palumbo, who had a semi-upset Wednesday against Central High School. The other semifinal at 4:45, and this again should be, of the 4 games, this should be the best game of the bunch. We have number 3 seed Mastery Charter South playing Prep Charter. So the playoffs in the Public League have been really interesting so far. In the first round, the number 32 seed, which is the last team that made it in, Tacony Charter, knocked off Parkway Center City, which came in as the 17 seed. Up into the third round, which was on Wednesday, 3 20 seeds made it into the third round, which is highly unusual.
Sounds like a bunch of March Madness type of scenarios.
Oh, yeah. So after all this is done, after the championship game, teams will be going on to the District 12 playoffs, the tournament, and from that, the Public League should have about 14 teams going to the state tournament, in the PIAA state tournament. So that's it. The semifinals are set for next Wednesday at Kensington, so that should be very interesting. The Catholic League quarterfinals are going on as we speak. Mike O'Donnell, our other co-host, is coaching tonight. Archbishop Wood is playing at home against Lansdale Catholic, the number 7 seed. So the other quarterfinals tonight are West Catholic at Newman Goretti. West Catholic's a talented team, but Newman Goretti's probably at a different level. And if I had to predict, I would think Newman Goretti will probably end up playing Archbishop Wood for the Catholic League Championship. You got number 5 seed Bonner Prendy playing at number 4 seed Archbishop Carroll. You have number 6 seed Archbishop Ryan playing at number 3 Cardinal O'Hara. O'Hara will probably have something to say, whether it's Newman, Wood, or themselves in the championship game.
That seems like to be the juiciest bracket so far, and I feel like a lot of people look forward to these 3 teams: O'Hara, Wood, and Newman Goretti all playing each other. Even I'm not from Philly, but these are the 3 teams that I hear all the time, even when I was in college out of state. So
yeah, they've been the perennial favorites in the Catholic League for at least the last 5 years now. Mm-hmm. A Wood Newman game or a Wood O'Hara game, Newman Goretti O'Hara. Those are all they sell those buildings out, and there's a lot of electricity going on there. Mm-hmm. So the semifinals are Tuesday at Jefferson University, which is the old Philadelphia University. The games are at 6:30 and 8 o'clock. And as I mentioned, the championship for the Catholic League will be on Monday, February 26th at the Palestra. The girls' championship is going to be at 6:30. So that will be a mob scene. That's going to be just crazy basketball and crazy crowds.
That's good. I mean, a lot of times during the season, some of the games are a little more boring, so it's good to have everyone look forward to this, everyone come out to watch these girls play.
Yep.
Up next, we have District 1. Oh, wait, sorry, Ari. Hey, Ari. Ari has a question. For you, Joe, what is the most likely upset to occur in the PCL girls basketball playoffs?
I would say the most likely upset.
I
would say Archbishop Ryan could possibly upset Cardinal O'Hara. Ryan started off the season really hot and kind of cooled off down the stretch, but that could be an upset right there. So that's a number 6 playing in number 3. I don't see Lansdale Catholic beating Wood. Bonner Prendy against Carroll. I think Carroll's got too many weapons. That's a 5 versus a 4. So I think the most likely upset would be Archbishop Ryan, possibly beating O'Hara.
And who do you think will be the 2 teams playing at the end?
My guess is going to be Newman Goretti and Archbishop Wood.
So that's what I asked you that, because Ari had his assumption of who would be, and he said Newman Goretti and Wood as well.
Well, it's great minds think alike.
Yeah, so I mean, either way, I feel like it's just going to be a great game.
It
I
will.
might actually figure out when that game is and check it out myself. All right, so District 1, we're going to go through 1A through 6A, starting with 1A, the brackets that they have here.
Well, District 1, 1A is kind of special to my heart because it's a sub-regional involving District 1 and District 12. So two of our District 12 public league teams are playing in that tournament. On Thursday, the 22nd, Philmont Christian, which is a number 6 seed, is going to play Parkway Northwest from the public league. And the winner of that game is going to play Sankofa, who came in as the number 2 seed. The interesting thing is that District 1 and most of the districts around the state of Pennsylvania use these power ratings in order to form out their brackets. And we had to turn in the scores of all the games that Sankofa played and Parkway played. So they fell into the power rankings, and they came out numbers 2 and 3 out of the 6 teams in the tournament. That being said, Jenkintown, a very, very talented team. Jim Romano does a great job there every year. Is the top seed, and I would expect them to win the whole bracket. 3 teams from that bracket go into the state tournament, and the Christian Academy could slip in there, in the 3rd place game, and you might see Sankofa, grab 2nd or 3rd and end up going to the state tournament.
All right, so District 1, 2A, we have another bracket.
Okay, in 2A, you've got the top seed, Sacred Heart, and they're playing Calvary Christian. Sacred Heart would be a favorite in that game. Delco Christian and Bristol. Bristol's had a really tough season, and that's a 3 against a 2, so I would expect number 2 seed Delco Christian to go up against Sacred Heart, with Sacred Heart winning that.
Right.
So.
District 1, 4A.
All right, 4. There's a couple of very good teams in this half of the bracket. Lower Moreland is the top seed, and they've had a really fine season. They're going to be playing in the championship game, I would think, against Gwynedd Mercy. Tom Lonergan, has had his team playing well over the last week or two, and they're going to be playing Nazareth Academy, and I would expect Lower Moreland to play Gwynedd, and probably Lower Moreland winning in a close game there.
Let's see, and then we have a couple more, or a lot more teams for District 1, 5A.
Okay, in
Larger
5A, the top half of this bracket is teams from Delaware and Chester counties. Westchester Henderson and Westchester Ruston, from the same school district of all places, are the top 2 seeds in the 5A bracket. You've also got the number 3 seed Villa Maria, which is from out there, and number 4 seed Springfield Delco. So you're going to have somebody from west of the Blue Route playing probably for the championship there and a berth in states. 6 teams from this bracket go on to the state playoffs.
And then District 6A.
Okay, 6A is going to be a very, very, very interesting tournament. Lots of talented teams in there. Souderton, who we've talked about all season, is the number 1 seed, and for good reason. Last week they beat Central Buck South for the Suburban 1 League Tournament Championship, 48-29. They're led by Megan Beeler, Megan Walbrandt, and Kate Connolly. That's 3 very talented players there, and it's going to be tough to knock Souderton out of that number 1 seed. A lot of these bracketed games are going to be pitting a lot of Suburban 1 teams against each other. For instance, you've got the number 9 seed Upper Dublin playing Pennsbury, and the winner from that game playing Council Rock North. So you've got 3 Suburban 1 teams involved there. Same thing a little lower down. You've got number 12 seed Central Bucks East playing number 21 Penn Ridge from the same conference. They're going to be playing the number 5 seed Abington. and Abington is always a threat to get down to the Final Four. Then you've got Neshaminy playing Cheltenham. CB West is playing Boyertown. They've got a 14 seed. They might be a little bit better than that, and they always seem to be in the mix when you get down to the end of the playoff tournament.
All right, so after District 1, we're going to District 3, and again, 1A through 6A. And before we do that, we're going to take a quick break, and we will talk about District 3 in a second.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've spent 3 days with the most insane program, okay, I have witnessed in my 17-year career. It excites me, the presence of point blank period, of Coach Dooley, of Coach Fowler, of the people that he works out with, that he trains with, okay? It's exciting. And you have had the luxury of spending 3 awesome days with these people. I watched Coach Fowler play. Mr. Coach, you watch Coach Fowler play? He is one of the most annoying basketball players you will ever see in your life. Okay? Because exactly what he trains, exactly what he preaches to you, he does at all times. This is real habit. This is not a gimmick. This is real basketball. Real basketball. Something that he has found success with. He has spread the word.
And welcome back. As promised, we're going to get started with the brackets from District 3, starting at 1A, going all the way to 6A. So, District 3, 1A.
Okay. District 3 are teams from Reading, Harrisburg. District 3 might be the biggest district in the state of Pennsylvania, and they draw in a lot of different schools. As I said, from Reading out to past Harrisburg and down below York. So in single A, you've got number 1 seed Lebanon Catholic. They've received a bye into the quarterfinals. I would say that they're a very sure bet to get to the championship game. Lancaster Country Day should be interesting. They're the number 6 seed. They're down the other end of the bracket. And, they always have a very good program, and, they could possibly make some waves in there. In 2A, very small bracket, only 4 teams. You've got number 1 Camp Hill. They're coming in at 18-4. And you have Upper Dolphin, number 2, the number 2 seed. They're 19-4. So, look for Camp Hill and Upper Dolphin to play each other for that championship. Either way, if both teams win, the 2 teams that end up in the final are going to the state tournament. Then in 3A, Trinity is a team that's always in the state tournament, no matter what year it is. You can always pretty much bank on the fact that they're going to be in there. They're the top seed. They're at 17-2. DeLone Catholic, which is I think pretty much near them. Trinity's in Camp Hill, right outside of Harrisburg. DeLone Catholic's from the same area. They're 20-4, and I would look for them to get to the final. Number 3 seed York Catholic. They're 11-12. I don't think they're really going to be much of a factor. In 4A, there's 2 teams in the District 3 tournament that are undefeated. Number 1 seed Lancaster Catholic is one of them. They're 21-0, and they could very well end up in the final against Wyomissing, which is from outside of Reading. They're the number 3 seed, and they're 20-3. The number 2 seed right now is Berks Catholic. Berks Catholic, it used to be Reading Central Catholic, and they merged with another school. They're always a perennial favorite. And then you've got Bishop McDevitt from Harrisburg. They're the number 4 seed. But look for Wyomissing, Berks Catholic, and Lancaster Catholic to be battling it out for the tournament championship there. And in 5A, you've got some more teams with a lot of wins. To have 20 wins at this point in the season is saying something. That's a big
even
accomplishment.
to be undefeated, that's really big.
Yep. So in the 5A bracket, you've got Lower Dolphin, which actually is playing Harrisburg tonight for the Mid-Penn Championship, Mid-Penn League. So they're playing right now as we speak. Lower Dolphins 21-1. Harrisburg actually comes into that game at 18-3, so they're very good. But I would expect Lower Dolphin to win that game, and they're already the number 1 seed in the 5A tournament. But then you've got teams like Twin Valley. They're 22-2 from Morgantown. They're the number 3 seed. Lampeter Strasburg, the number 4 seed's 20-3, and the number 5 seed Susquehannock, which is a school my daughter works at. They're 20-4. So Lower Dolphin's probably the favorite, but I would look for any of those 3 teams to compete with Lower Dolphin there. Then we move on to the to the 6A classification. This is all the big schools. Manheim Township, the top seed, they've got to buy into the quarterfinals. They're 18-5. Elizabethtown, which is the number 2 seed, they're 18-6. And Central York is the 3 seed. They're 19-4. Manheim Township is always a perennially good program, and I would look for them to be in the final against either Elizabethtown or Central York.
All right, so that's it for District 3.
Before we leave District 3,
Before we leave District 3.
Sorry to throw that
No, you're
curveball at
fine.
you. A young lady named Josie Swartz broke Juniata High School's career scoring record the other night. She scored 22 points against Lancaster Country Day School. She now has 1,504 points, and that is the all-time leading score for boys and girls.
Oh, wow.
At Juniata.
Well, that's big.
So actually, they're playing tonight for the Tri-Valley League Championship, and she has a chance to add some points to her total.
You think at that point that they would eventually retire her jersey for beating boys and girls
I would
numbers?
think so. Yeah, that's usually you go into a gym. Guys' teams have been playing since the 1920s.
Yeah, true.
Girls' programs haven't been playing since maybe 1970. When Title IX came in. And so always the leading scorer in the school is a boy.
Right, exactly.
So
yeah, so I'm
after all
shocked
those years,
that's big.
Yep.
Good for her. Girl power.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so finished with District 3, and for District 2, we're going to go to our friend Rosie, and she's going to tell us more about the brackets up there.
Thanks, Nikki. All right, let's get to it. Starting off with Class 6A, we have Scranton, 15-7 for the season, and then Hazleton area 13-8, followed by Williamsport, then Delaware Valley. Then we have Class 5A, Abington Heights leads with 15 wins and 7 losses, followed by Crestwood, 14 wins and 7 losses, and then Wallenpaupack is actually tied with Abington Heights with 15 wins and 7 losses. Following them is West Scranton, Pittston area, Wyoming Valley West, North Pocono, and then Coughlin. Now we have Class 4A, Scranton Prep, 20 wins and 2 losses for the season. Nanticoke, 19 wins and 2 losses, followed by Berwick and Wyoming area with the same exact record, 14-7. Following them is Lake Lehman, Dallas, Valley View, Tunkhannock, Western Wayne, and then Honesdale. Now we have Class 3A here. Dunmore, 20 wins and 1 loss this season. Holy Redeemer, 18 wins and 3 losses. And then we have Holy Cross, 17 wins and 4 losses for the season. Following them is Mid-Valley, Riverside, Hanover area, Montrose, Myers, Carbondale, Lakeland, and then GAR. Now we have Class 2A Northwest area with 12 wins and 9 losses. Old Forge, 10 wins, 11 losses. Following them is Wyoming, Seminary, Mount View, Elk Lake, Lackawanna Trail, and then Blue Ridge. Then we have Class Single A Susquehanna with 17 wins and 3 losses, followed by Forest City and then MMI. That's your check on District 2 high school girls basketball. Back to you, Nikki.
Thanks, Rosie. It's good to see her popping in every now and then.
Absolutely.
Really quick, we're going to go take another break, and then when we come back, we'll give you guys some updates on the brackets in District 7.
Hi, I'm Tommy Green, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. When I was in high school, it was very important to me to show scouts what I could do. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you're a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
We're talking goaltending here, and we're talking about high school rules as opposed to NCAA or NBA, which are slightly different. The referee is looking for 4 criteria. Number 1, is the ball on its way down? Number 2, is the ball fully above the rim? Number 3, was it an attempted shot? And number 4, did that shot have a chance to go in the opinion of the referee? If all 4 of those criteria are met, a goaltending call is made and the basket is good. Slapping the backboard is never goaltending. It's always a technical foul.
Welcome back. As promised, we're going to get right into the brackets for District 7.
Okay,
Starting
these
with
are teams
1A.
from the Pittsburgh area and from the Whippeal Conference. Right now in the single A bracket, Winchester Thurston is a prohibitive favorite to win that bracket. They won it last year, and they have a young lady named Gia Thorpe who's averaging close to 22 points a game. They have a young lady named Ayanna Townsend, who's a recruit for Xavier, so they should be, one of the favorites to win that. And 2A, Vincentian is the number 1 seed, and they've won 5 of the last 6 district championships. So, to bet against them would probably not be a good thing. Charters Houston could be a factor. They have Alexa Williamson. She's averaging 30.4 points per game and has over 2,000 career points. So
How many points a game?
30.4.
A game?
Per game.
Oh my God.
Some kids don't get that in their career.
Right?
But she has that per game.
A game? That means she's okay. All right.
So they're on the other half of the bracket. They could very easily come in and be playing Vincentian for the district championship. In 3A, Bishop Canavan is looking for their 4th title in 6 years, and they have a couple of young ladies named Brianna Allen and Samijah Price who lead that team. East Allegheny could be a factor. They're on the other half of the bracket, and they are undefeated, and they have a young lady named Amani Johnson who's averaging 26.8 points per game, and she's got over 2,000 career points.
Are they passing the ball as well, or are they just
Maybe they're just all
unstoppable?
passing them into her.
Yeah, true.
In the 4A bracket, Cardinal World North Catholic is the top seed on the one side of the bracket. They could end up playing Blackhawk, which is in the other side, the top seed in the other side of the bracket, and they were blown out by Cardinal World last year for the district championship. So I'm sure Blackhawk is looking for a little payback. World allows 34 points a game on defense, and their coach, Molly Rotman, is going for a Whippeal record 7 titles. So they have a lot to play for there. So that's what's happening in 4A. In the 5A bracket, there's another Trinity. You have the Trinity in District 3. You have Trinity in District 7. Trinity allows only 40 points a game. And they'll be tested. They have Mars, which is not the planet, but it is. They have a very fine girls soccer program, and apparently they have a very fine girls basketball program. And Hampton could also be a factor. Mars and Hampton both have 2 Division I prospects on their teams. So they could give Trinity a run for their money. Again, Trinity's only allowing 40 points a game, so we'll see how those Division I prospects fare against that defense. The 6A bracket, North Allegheny, which always seems to be in a PIAA championship in some sport in Pennsylvania, football, baseball, girls basketball. They won the district championship last year. They only graduated one senior, so they should be a big favorite.
That's good news for them.
Yeah. As a coach, if you go into a situation, you've had a great season the year before and you lose one kid, you have all the rights to expect great things this year. They're 22-0, and Rachel Martindale is getting a Division I offer. She's a guard for North Allegheny, so I would look for North Allegheny to take that fairly easily. And that's the WPIAL brackets.
And that's it for the brackets that we have so far of the ones that's up. We don't have any bracket or graphics for 4A or 6A, but we will get some updates on that later.
Yep.
You have also a little tidbit you want to add?
Yeah, there's a coach in Lansdale who recently announced her resignation, her retirement from basketball. Maggie DeMartelier, and I'm getting so old that I remember Maggie when she was a high school student at Lansdale Catholic and doing stats for her father Jim Algio on the sidelines. But Maggie's retiring after 29 years coaching Lansdale Catholic in North Penn. She's won 15 championships with both schools. When she was at Lansdale Catholic, they won 12 Pac-10 championships, and they also she's had 15 trips to district tournament. She's had 7 trips to the state tournament. She's at North Penn. She won 4 Suburban 1 titles. She won 4. She was to the District 1 finals 4 times and won the championship in 2014. And overall, she's been to the state playoffs 11 times.
Wow.
She notched her 500th career win in 2016. And the same year, she was inducted into the Montgomery County Coaches Hall of Fame, which is was a very emotional thing for her. Mm-hmm. Her father, Jim, who was Lansdale Catholic's football coach since 1969, he finally retired maybe 10 years ago. He was inducted into Montgomery County Coaches Hall of Fame in 2005, so you got a father-daughter thing there. So, congratulations on your retirement, Maggie, and you're going to be missed by those girls up in Lansdale. You did a nice job for them over the years.
Yeah, those are some great numbers, and it's amazing for her to be able to retire with a lot to take with her, a lot to leave behind as far as, this record of what she's done will always be there. So. And
it almost never occurred. Her sister was playing basketball at Lansdale Catholic, and she had 3 different coaches in 3 years. So the job opened up, Maggie applied for it. Didn't get the head coaching job. She was the JV coach for 3 years, but then ended up for a nice long run at Lansdale Catholic. And it was all because of her sister, having a merry-go-round of coaches, and she ended up having a great coaching career.
Congrats to her. That's amazing. So yeah, that's pretty much it from us today. Anything else?
We'll have some great playoff games now. The end of this week and into next week. Mm-hmm. The District 1 tournament begins Friday night, tomorrow night, and that will last for a couple of weeks, and then the PIAA state tournament begins the weekend of March 9th. So, we're just really getting into the meat of it. All the league championships are taking place. Districts are starting this weekend, and it's going to be exciting.
Sounds like a lot of fun. It's the best time of the year. It's like Christmas all over again, but for basketball, only for basketball. But yeah, so we will be back here next Thursday at 7. We're here every Thursday on Facebook Live. basically just providing you guys with whatever we know for high school girls basketball in Pennsylvania. You can always watch and catch up with In the Paint by downloading our latest podcast. Go to the iTunes store and search the Sports Fan Base Network to download our latest episodes, our past episodes, including tonight's episodes. But most importantly, make sure you give us a 5-star rating because we're just so cool. Don't miss our other shows. On Monday, we have 3 in the Key, talking about high school boys basketball. On the Mat Tuesday nights, and All New Varsity Voice on Wednesday nights. In the meantime, be sure to go to our website, which is www.thesfbn.com. Check out more high school sports information, including our game broadcast schedule and our wonderful faces. We will see you guys next week at 7. Bye.